Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. It's Halloween! Well, the day before Halloween.
Yeah.
It comes
Close
out
enough.
October 30th. Yep. But happy Halloween!
Thank you for being with us.
Yes. Today we are covering Halloween Ends, which we had ironically seen last year right when the movie had come out.
Yeah.
But we already had recorded for Halloween last year.
All of October.
So we're like, well,
It can wait a year.
Yep.
This is fine.
So we have watched it again. But, that scared the shit out of me. The bleeding candle. And it sounded like it was peeing.
I don't know why I thought for some reason like your mug had cracked or something.
Yeah, it sounded like it was peeing or like liquid. Okay. Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
What's being poured?
All right. Well.
That was great. It kind of gushed and everything.
Yeah, and it's cutting through the eye. That's cool. But anyways, before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea.
The jump scare.
Yeah, I'm doing a repeat. I am doing the Republic of Tea Thinking of You tea, and it's got peppermint, chamomile, orange peel, creamy French vanilla, and wintergreen flavor.
I am also doing a repeat of Republic of Tea's Honey Ginseng Green Tea. And it has green tea, natural flavors, linden blossoms, something I can't ever pronounce, and Panax ginseng.
But thank you to the Republic of Tea for allowing us to continue to do what we love. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. So, for the summary of Halloween Ends. The movie concludes the Michael Myers saga as Laura Strode faces him one last time while a new evil threatens Haddonfield 4 years later.
4 years after the other
previous.
movie, the previous movie.
Yeah. Yep. So, for entertainment, this one's a toughie because there's parts of the movie I do like that they did. Like the fact that, with the very first Halloween movie, it was supposed to signify like the perfect like suburban neighborhood. Mm-hmm. And it was at a time where, serial killers were becoming a thing and like the Manson murders and all of that. And so people were scared. And so Halloween represented the dark, lingering danger in this perfect suburban neighborhood. And that's a part of what made it so terrifying is it was more than just a slasher. It like represented more, especially for the time that it came out.
Well, also the fact that it was just some random person in the suburbs.
Yes.
So it could come from anywhere.
Right. Yeah. Because they're like, it could be your children. It could be your neighbor. Like, you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So I like that this movie kind of leans into that and really leans on the scars that the community were left with. It's a community of fear and paranoia because of what happened with Michael Myers. So they're just looking for the next person to kind of pin their fear on.
They need a new boogeyman.
Yeah. And so I like the end of the movie where it really is like the community healing from that and moving past that trauma.
How one of them's like, this isn't how we do things. And they're like, it is tonight.
Yeah.
Screw procedure. This is what we're doing today.
Yeah. But by the time we've gotten to this point, the franchise seems very tired.
Oh, yeah.
And overdone. And so it's tough. So, honestly, oh,
It's bittersweet too.
yeah, yeah. I would give it. I'm dancing between a 7 and a 7.25.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Personally.
Yeah, like honestly, I feel like the previous movie. What was that one called? I forgot what it is called. But the one where they kind of like reintroduced Laurie Strode as this like badass woman that's been waiting for Michael
Yeah, Laurie.
years. Like I feel like that one was better.
I feel like it could have ended right there.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm going to
ended
go ahead
with
and
the
give this one
fire.
a 7 since I feel like the other one was more like a 7.25 for me. If I remember what I rated it.
I don't remember what I rated the
Yeah.
last one.
But anyways,
Really, it probably could have been over like 2 movies ago.
yeah. But I do like that I really do like what they did with Laurie's character. It's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Like she is such a badass.
She is.
And the fact that she just doesn't give a
And
fuck
she was
anymore.
one of the original Scream Queens too. So
Yeah.
for her to take power back like that, love it. Love that for you.
Yeah. And you know, I will say like the very beginning opening scene of the movie of how like the kid got killed.
Total accident
Right.
and brutal too.
Yeah, what a way to go.
God.
But like at first I was like, I don't know if I like how they opened it as far as like not having it be about Michael, but then I kind of went back and be like, well, he is the new Michael to
Yeah.
the community. And what's ironic is, you know, Michael Myers, he was just plain evil while the community made, I forgot his name, but made
Yeah.
this
I forget his name too.
this new guy literally made him the new Michael
Yeah.
Myers. Like they were the
He's
ones
a
that
product
started
of their fear.
Yes, yes. And so I thought that was a really interesting difference. I also thought it was kind of cute that like Michael was like, here you go, like I help. And and that kind of like
Saw a kindred spirit almost.
yeah, it's like I can see there's evil in you too. But
Up until he took the mask. And then he's
Yeah.
like, oh, you did not.
yeah, he's like, fuck you. Like that you do not do that, sir.
You did what, bitch?
yeah. But but it's like I do like that it's like this movie there's kind of like multiple layers that you kind of like put apart, but yeah, but overall I do like what the movie overhead is saying, but when we get more nitty-gritty, like the whole granddaughter versus Laurie about like liking the weird guy and all of that, like I felt that was kind of unnecessary and kind of pulled down the movie in a lot of ways.
What bugged me was they tried to have so many different parallels with him and Michael
Yes. Yeah,
that
because
it didn't make as much sense. They were really forcing the comparison between the two.
yes.
And if you're going to have that kind of comparison, then you can't bring love into it because then they're trying to redeem him and he's pulling against it while also trying to cling to it, and it just doesn't make as much sense.
Well, I also felt like they're almost kind of like what they did with the sea monster love romance movie, but I feel like we're trying to shift
Shape of Water?
Shape of Water. Yeah, I think we're trying to pull back to a time where it's like, oh, monsters can be loved and it can be romantic or whatever, and so I feel like they were saying like this is a new generation of Michael and the new Laurie Strode, like
Like it's more complicated and it's not as black and white.
yeah.
Because with Michael, it was clear cut.
Oh yeah. And so
There
I
ain't
feel like
nothing else there. There's evil, and that's it.
yeah, I think they're trying to add like complexity to
Yeah.
the relationship, which I'm just kind of like okay,
Yeah,
but yeah, but I will say the ending was pretty satisfying.
Yes.
And the lengths that Laurie
Yes.
went to make sure he was dead. And the fact that they put him
Absolutely.
in a wood chipper or whatever that chipper thing was. Like, insane.
A crusher. Yeah. It was a grinder. It was a car grinder.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it was
like...
at the salvage yard.
Yeah, it's like, no, he's not coming
There
back
ain't
from this
nothing
one.
left.
Yeah.
There is mush. That is it.
Yeah, like the fact that they went through to those lengths is like, we are done.
Screw the autopsy. Screw all of that. No, we're not taking
Corey.
the chance.
Corey, that was his name.
That's right.
That's right.
I knew it started with a C.
Yeah. Laurie and Corey.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, I like overall, it's like I just like the healing community, the different parallels, all of that. But there were just some, especially more minor story features. Or the love was a little bit more major, kind of. But it's just kind of weird. And then the whole like Michael just being in the sewer, just camping out for 4 years. It's like,
Yeah.
what's his
4
motivation?
years.
And why did he do that? Like, what was he biding his time for?
I
like,
knew that he had to heal for at least a portion of it because, I mean, he did go through a fire and he was badly burned. And the fact that he didn't die from his injuries is amazing in and of itself.
he's
but-
superhuman, but yeah.
I guess.
They never really explain it.
They never do. But yeah. Yeah. And nobody saw him that whole time.
Except the homeless
They saw
guy.
him. Yeah.
That's what I got for entertainment.
Yeah. This movie's a bit of a mixed bag for me. I
Yeah.
like, but I also don't like certain aspects in the same measure. I don't know. It's just odd. It's an odd mix. And again, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about the relationship aspect of it. Because he really is a product of it. And it wouldn't be as bad if they weren't so heavily leaning into the parallels between him
Yeah.
and Michael. The comparisons, constant comparisons between the two. If it was a completely unrelated issue that he had and he's just trying to heal from it and he just can't do it and he keeps getting pulled back into that darkness, that would be one thing. But the constant comparisons between him and Michael Myers is what really just kind of, you know?
It's like they beat you over the head with it, but he's not Michael. Like, they
Yeah.
have some pretty stark differences.
And he seems to admire Michael a little bit, just from how he's able to feel powerful
Yeah.
by killing others. Don't do that.
You don't need to feel powerful.
That is not the
by
way to feel
killing.
powerful, please.
Very beautiful. Very powerful.
And he both clung to and kept trying to push against the possible redemption that he could have had with the granddaughter. So it was just kind of... His whole character seemed a little bit forced, not gonna lie.
I guess the only other thing I can think of is maybe, like, they were trying to have her be, like, the light that he
Yeah.
would go to. But instead he, like, turned away from the light and then went to the darkness. So it's like the granddaughter versus Michael.
And then decided to snuff out the light any way he could
Yeah.
because of that phrase that he said a couple of times. If I can't have her, no one can, which you might want to check yourself, dude. That sounds a little stalkery. Just saying. Might work on Book Talk, but not necessarily here.
Whoa.
Am I wrong, though?
No, you're not. It's really cool because I see in the bleeding candle, there's like parts, I think that's where the eyes are, where it's like, it's starting to have holes.
Yeah.
In the, oh, so cool. Anyways, I don't know why this candle
She's
is
just
amusing so much.
delighted and
I know, it's like
fascinated by
whenever
this
you're talking, I'm just like,
candle.
flame.
That's great. Anyway, it's mostly what I have on entertainment. Like it's all right, and the ending is definitely very, very satisfying. And Lori is a badass, and I love her. but honestly, like this series really should have ended like a couple of movies ago. Let's be real. So, yeah. That's what I got. It was the movie before last.
Oh, man.
Halloween. 2020, I think it was. That was when they burned down the house with him in it. In the basement. That's when it ended. That's when it should have ended. And then they had a whole nother movie. And then left it open for another one.
I don't remember the
I don't remember what it was called.
Oh, man.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I
But,
don't remember what it was called. I just know it shouldn't have happened.
so for realism, I mean, it's a Michael Myers movie. I mean, on the one hand, with Corey in the mix, it kind of makes it a little bit more realistic because he's a lot more human.
Did they, though?
But,
Because, again, there was so much incompetence with the police.
yeah. I will say, the mom still being so, I don't know. Like, I know everybody handles grief and death differently.
Corey's mom? Oh, the mom of the kid that died. in the
Oh,
beginning.
we're not
Okay.
talking about Corey's mom. God, she was
needed
weird.
psychiatric help.
She was a boy mom. She was like all the horror stories.
She was beyond that. She was psycho mom because she would also tear him down constantly.
Yeah.
But when anybody else talked about him, that's my baby boy.
Yeah. But anyways,
Jesus.
I was talking
Woman
more
needed help.
on like the mother of the boy that he was
the
babysitting.
kid. Yeah.
And how she was absolutely convinced that he was a killer and stuff like that. But it's like
Her kid died brutally. And what they
Yes.
heard right before it happened, I can see where she's coming from.
But like him, I don't know, but it's like him explaining like, you know, he locked me in the closet. I was kicking the door open. I had no idea he was right behind it. It's like, that's a pretty believable story though. It's very plausible.
It's a plausible, believable story, but at the same time, it could be argued that he used excessive force.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't need to go that hard on kicking the door. The kid flew over the railing.
he did. He would.
It wasn't just a bump on the head. And
Why
knocked
do
him
they need a
over.
house that big?
That's a whole
That's your
separate
own
issue.
fault.
That's a whole
Yeah.
separate issue right there.
But
So it just, I can still see where the mother's coming from. That mother.
yeah,
That particular mother.
yeah. I did.
That other one, I stand by what I said before.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, I guess crazy moms are unfortunately realistic. in their own right.
Yeah, that's, there's all kinds.
Yep. But I did like how Lori was like, no, we're making sure you're gonna die. And so she's cutting all major arteries. And he's still managing to choke her.
Well, and I love how this is one of the very few movies that show even if an artery is severed, they don't just bleed out immediately and die. Like, it's not an instant death kind of thing. There's still a few minutes
Yeah.
where they're alive and able to move.
Yeah.
There's still a problem.
Yeah.
It's not instant death. And I love it.
But yeah, like honestly, Lori, I feel like was like one of the most realistic characters.
He's in the bathroom.
I know. Stop having so much joy in there.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's all I got for realism.
You never gave it a rating.
Oh shit. 1.5. Between like Lori and then the community thing, but then everything else.
I give it a 2.
The bullies, though. Oh, the bullies were making me so mad.
A lot of the interactions and everything were believable.
Yeah.
And especially in that kind of community, I can see how deep the scars run.
Mm-hmm.
And how quick they are to jump to, oh, it's another Michael Myers. Like, it's Michael Myers all over again.
Well, plus those kids are probably hearing their parents talking about him.
All the time. All the time. Especially in a community that small.
Yeah.
So, when scars run that deep on it, it's going to affect a lot. I'm honestly surprised that he was still there. Though, given his now prison record and everything and what the charges were, even if he did get off a little easy or early, it sounded like, it would still be extremely difficult for him to get and maintain a job. And he was working at what looked like his stepfather's.
Well,
Or
and
the
even
mom's
finding a
boyfriend.
place
I don't
to
know if
live.
it was actually his dad. Yeah, he was still at his mom's house.
Yeah.
So I don't, again, know if that was his dad or his stepdad or his mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
They were kind of unclear there. And I was kind of sad when he died.
Because he was genuinely
He was-
trying to help him.
He really was. He was doing everything he possibly could to help the kid out. He was giving him the benefit of the doubt on a lot of things. He was giving him a lot of leeway. He was tempering his mother a little bit. So he was trying to help Corey out as much as he could. So he seemed like a legitimately good guy, and it was a real bummer when he died, honestly. The kids were throwaway characters, so whatever. I can't even distinguish between them anyway. It was bully 1 through 4.
Yeah, they kind of
Whatever.
deserved it.
Well, I don't know if they deserve the brutality of it, but
Well, the one that like actually pushed Corey off.
Yeah, he
like,
kinda deserved it a little
he
bit,
deserved
yeah.
it. But the rest of them were just the lackeys.
yeah,
So it's like,
yeah, they were just kind of there. They were complacent in it.
yeah.
So, whatever. I don't know. A lot of it seemed forced, but again, they were just kind of trying desperately to wrap it up. The murders that keep happening, there's so much evidence everywhere, and he's already in the system because he's already been charged with murder.
Oh,
or at
yeah.
the very least manslaughter. So
Like when the new head nurse or whatever dies and he's just like wiping his hand on the glass. I'm like,
fingerprints are a thing. He was wearing no gloves or anything.
yep.
There's DNA everywhere. Like, why? I don't know how he thought he wouldn't be caught ever. So it didn't make as much sense. It's not quite as strong, realism-wise, as some of the other movies.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, like overall, I think this movie can be skipped, but I do
It's better than the last one, at least.
I do enjoy this one enough that I think it's worth a watch, especially since you start getting the the multi layers of meaning that you get like with the first one. So it's just kind of like, nice. But yeah. More.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Girl.
Okay, anyways.
Focus.
Candle bleeding again. Anyways. Yeah, so thank you for joining us today. And let us know what you thought of the movie.
Don't worry, the candle will be gone next time.
No, because it won't be Halloween no more. Shit. Anyways, just one more episode.
No.
But I would be interested in hearing what your favorite Halloween movie is. Halloween franchise / series. Yeah. Mine is always going to be the first one.
I feel like that was the strongest one.
Yeah. Yep. But always so scary. But yeah. If you would like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, you can leave us a comment or join our Discord. And if you'd like to keep up to date with our content, you can find our link tree listed below.
And if you'd like to support us monetarily, we have a Teespring and PayPal, or we have our affiliate link with Republic of Tea available. It does not affect the price of the tea, it just allows us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of the sites mentioned linked below. But until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.